Hello everyone, it's Kingdom Silver here, and in today's video we are starting a new series called Secure Your Silver Stack. And in this series we're going to be talking about some common mistakes that silver stackers, gold stackers, investors make and how we can avoid them. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. So you might be saying, hey, why do you have this silver bar on the screen? Well, just like a snowflake, we're unique as people, right? We all come into the world with different experiences. We have different belief systems, and those belief systems, where we came from, right? They can really affect us behaviorally, and especially when this comes to stacking and investing. And this article that I found from investing.com, it talks about, and the title of it is The Role of Behavioral Finance in Protecting Your Wealth. And you may be telling yourself, well, what is behavioral finance? So what it is it blends psychology and economics together to understand how our behaviors impact how we invest, and in this case, how we stack. Now, some of you may have heard the word psychology and you're like, ugh, I'm almost out already. Hold on. I actually think it's pretty interesting. Basically what this article gets into is it talks about how the different behaviors, especially behavioral biases, that can come into play, that we can have, that can affect our investment decisions and really put us in a bad place. And so in this video, we're going to be, starting out, and each video going forward in this series, we're going to be talking about one bias, and then how can we avoid that bias. So the first bias that we're going to be talking about is loss aversion. And what loss aversion is it's the tendency to feel the pain of losses more acutely than the pleasure of gains. And for me, my personality wise, for those that have heard of the Enneagram, I've taken the test. I'm an Enneagram 1, and that's somebody that has a strong inner critic. And so for me, I was somebody that I can make 10, 20, 30, 100 right decisions in a row, but I would make that one mistake, that one failure, and I would become afraid of it. It would cause me to, not invest, to not stack. It really was a problem for me. And maybe you've run into that as well. You've made a bad investment or a bad decision. Maybe you got in on silver a little late and you're like, man, I should have bought it at $20, or man, I should have bought gold at 1800. I still have that a little bit. I wish I would have bought more gold at 1800 than I did. But that's the whole thing that this article is talking about is, hey, if you have that fear, and fear is driving your decisions, and again, this can apply to investing, this can apply to stacking, this can apply to your life as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you're allowing fear to dictate how you live your life, this can not only lead to, troubles with investing and stacking, but this can really hurt you in your life as well. So, for me, how do we avoid that, right? How do we deal with this loss aversion? Well, for me, I think it comes down to, and again, a lot of the decisions in these videos, right? There's going to be some overlap, right, in how to avoid some of these biases. But I think the two that really stick out for me is, one, know that your value as a person, it doesn't come from how much silver you stack or the investments you've made. It's about the people in your life. For those that are of faith, like I am, your faith in, your creator, right? And who they say you are as a person, that's where your value comes from. Or even if you're not a person of faith, the people in your life, the friends, the family, that make you who you are, the people that you can love and care for, that's what life's about. It's not about money at the end of the day. Yes, we want to make money, we want to stack, we want to have, set ourselves up, our family, for a good financial future and security. But at the end of the day, it's money, and money can be replaced. You, people in your life, your loved ones, they cannot. And I think the second thing is just having a plan as well. And you're probably going to hear this reason repeated in several of the conversations we have, but I think it's really true. You have to have a plan. You can't just fly by your emotions. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants. You have to come up with a plan. You can't just listen to me, some random guy on the internet's advice. I do my research. I try to, take this as a responsibility and a duty. I'm not a personal financial advisor, right? But I want to give people good advice. But even at the end of the day, I'm human. I'm imperfect, right? I could make a mistake, inadvertently. So it's important for you to do the research on this. And that's what I did with silver. I did the research, I saw a target on when I could get into the market, and I pulled the trigger, and I've been really successful for it. But I had to come up with my own research and do my own, go through all the research to figure that out. I couldn't just, take somebody's word on it. I had to, take ownership of my investments, and I'm really glad I did, because with silver I've been really successful with that. So with that, we're going to end the video today. Again, I'm going to try and make this a series, not make it too long, maybe 3-4 videos. We'll see how far it goes, and we'll throw these in with some other silver content, right? Want to give a little bit of a break, but wanted to do something a little bit more cerebral than just saying, oh, look, fun silver, shiny things, right? I want to incorporate some shiny in here as well. But I want to get back in these videos and some things that I think can really help people. So with that, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, please like it. Helps me out, but more importantly, it gets the algorithm going, helps get the word out about gold and silver. Put a comment. I would love to interact with you about the video, talk more about this. That's one of my favorite things in creating YouTube videos. And if you haven't already, would really appreciate a subscribe. Again, just helps me out, and an encouragement that, hey, people are enjoying the content. So with that, be blessed, be a blessing to others. We'll see you later.